All right, on this episode of Bouts Talking Bouts, happy to be talking to an individual who is well regarded in the MMA community and is now getting ready to step into the world of bare knuckle boxing. BKFC's latest signee. We've got Hector Lombard on the show. How's your day going so far, man?
Yeah, it's good. How are you? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. I'm just kind of wondering, like, when the, I guess, talks initially got going for you to be signing with BKFC. I noticed you had the picture with Dave Feldman on your Instagram circa September 14, but when did the, I guess, dialogue first get going to sign with BKFC?
Yeah. I always wanted to sign with the company. I just kind of like I like different issues, and I don't want to tell you why, but at the end, I signed with the company.
And what was it about bare knuckle boxing that you found, I guess, appealing? Because I noticed you haven't competed in MMA in a little while. Like, why come back and go with bare knuckle boxing as opposed to, I guess, maybe coming back with mixed martial arts there?
I felt like I always wanted to do it. You know what I mean? I always had the age to do it, and and I couldn't retire, without doing something that's become so popular. And I mean, who doesn't like bare knuckle? It's freaking brutal. So I love that sport.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see you compete in bare knuckle boxing because you have, quite a few knockouts amongst your MMA wins. Like you've got like 22 knockouts in the 34 wins per your SureDog profile there. But I guess I'm kind of wondering, do you think like your, I guess like striking method is going to have to change a great deal? Like, because it seems like certain guys I've talked to in the bare knuckle fighting sphere, like the big thing is like they change their shot selection a fair bit, like when they're crossing over from MMA to bare knuckle boxing. Have you kind of been thinking of those certain things, like what differences it'll be like with the striking in bare knuckle boxing as opposed to what you've done in your MMA efforts?
Yeah, of course, it's a different sport. I mean, that's one thing that I was thinking to my coach about. Kevin Gleason, he already have about 4 to 5 fighters that fight in bare knuckle. My voice killing me, Mike. He has about 4 to 5 fighters that fight in bare knuckle. So definitely it's a different sport. It's different striking, and this is one thing that I was telling everybody, like when Paul, my guy, what's his name, Paulie?
Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi.
Yeah, he was kind of like talking it up, and I'm saying to myself like, this guy had no idea, like, it's a different sport. You can be better boxer than me, but when you get hit with no gloves, it's a different hit. It's a different. So obviously, you gotta change the whole striking game. And the striking in MMA is way different than striking in boxing. And obviously, in the striking in bare knuckle, it's gonna be different than boxing and MMA. It's a different sport. So yeah, I definitely gotta make some adjustments. Yeah.
But also the shorter round durations, I imagine it lends itself well to your kind of style, which is like, very explosive and, certain things like that. So are you kind of looking at it from that perspective too? Like, do the shorter round increments excite you in the sense of like both you guys are going to like toe the line and just sort of get right to it?
Yeah, it gets, it makes it more exciting also. I mean, the longer the rounds, the more you have to kind of like reserve. The shorter the rounds, you can go for it. So that's another thing that, like I said before, it changes the dynamic of the sport in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of wondering if you have any specific goals within the promotion. Like, are you looking to maybe capture a championship at some point? Are there a certain set of opponents you'd look to get in there with? Is there just, I guess, competitive curiosity to try this out? Like, what are you looking forward to on that end? Like, what do you have mapped out as a goal?
Well, first, get one fight under my belt. You know, it's like I say before. I never wanted to be a champion in MMA. To be honest, yeah. I only wanted to have one fight, and then as I was progressing, I'm like, oh, I'm good at this. So I was okay. I'm gonna have one more, and then you know, I ended up having like over 50 fights. So you know, I take it one thing at a time.
That's interesting to hear, considering what a significant run you've had in mixed martial arts. Just this idea of taking it one fight at a time, and you managed to do what you did over there. So very curious to see what happens with the Bareknuckle fighting, if that's kind of the mentality going into it, man.
Yeah, I'm being different mindset. Especially like the past 7 years, I had a lot of personal problems. You know, nobody knows about that, but you know, I've been going through a lot of personal problems. So you know, it's a change. You know, totally, definitely changed my mindset. How taking my life now.
Okay, well, hopefully you've overcame those personal problems there and everything, man. But I mean, I was noticing that it seems like no date or opponent has necessarily been named for your fight that you have, like your first foray with, you know, Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. But I'm noticing some names like Vanderlei Silva, for instance. I'm curious, do you have a date or an opponent for your first fight mapped out? Like, I think most people are wondering if you're going to fight Vanderlei Silva the first time out, but do you have any news on that end of things?
No, at the moment. I mean, kind of like I say, you know, we should sign, and it's been like a day. So yeah, you know, we've been talking. I've been talking with David for a long time. I like the guy. I think he's a great person in general. So I always like him, and I always like his promotion. So we haven't discussed about, you know, an opponent yet, but eventually we will.
Do you know if that's going to be announced at the next show, perhaps? Like maybe if on October 19th, when BKFC 8 gets going on Fight TV and stuff like that, is there going to be an announcement of your first fight then? Or again, is that something that's not been communicated to you?
No, I don't think so. I should sign, you know. Too soon. The next show is going to be in 2 weeks, right? So.
Yeah, definitely, man. I guess I'm just excited about the news and everything like that.
Yeah. It's a bit too soon for that, but yeah, you know, eventually we can announce it.
Well, it seems like a mutually agreeable thing. It seems like David Feldman's happy to have you on board and speaks favorably of you, and you seem very excited to get going with the Bareknuckle fighting. Being great with your time, man. Is there anything you'd like to add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here, though?
No, I just want to add, I'm here in Bareknuckle because first of all, I like David. He's a great person. I like his promotion. It's something that I wanted to do because. You know, I've done it all. I've done judo, BJJ, compete everywhere in BJJ, Abu Dhabi, in judo and Olympics, and MMA as well. So I'm just want to do this. That's the only thing left for me.
It's gonna be fun to see what happens once you actually get out there and get things going. But great having all your insights and everything like that. And if people want to check out the next Bareknuckle Fighting Championship card, BKFC 8 goes October 19th via Fight TV, and people should stay locked and be, you know, keeping their ear to the ground for when that Hector Lombard fight announcement comes down the line in the next little while. But great to have you on the program to talk about the recent signing and everything, Hector. Best of luck with, you know, your preparations for the first fight, and enjoy the rest of your night too, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the interview.